wheels just roll. Oh yeah, it's quick when you want it to be. Okay, Yeti. It's my best Yeti call. Well, the first test is going to be obviously the Ripley. This is what we came for. Might try a Ripmo. Here we got transition here. We got specialized Yeti. I got quite the options for a nice demo day. I think everybody's ready to see this thing. Okay, we're gonna start this channel today with a 10-second bike check. We got the Ibis carbon rims laced with the Industry 9 hubs, XTR full drivetrain, full brake setup, next carbon cranks, flat pedals of course, bike yoke, WTB saddle, and we got the Ibis Ripley with the Ibis Santa Cruz bars and the Fox suspension. I think that gets it. All right, I probably went over 10 seconds, but whatever. And here we are. I've never ridden these trails either. It's just a new bike, new experience in and of itself. Let's get to climbing. Thing's a little rocket ship. I mean, I'm used to pedaling a slacked out rein. Obviously, this is gonna feel better. You can tell this bike's shorter in the wheelbase. You can just spin really nicely, and it doesn't use a ton of energy to just kind of motor along. Let's see what this thing can handle. Yeah, so the bike just floats over everything really nicely. It's just a very efficient amount of travel. If you're just going out and having fun kind of rider, and you're not trying to race, but you like to feel a little racy and still not be left in the dust on the hill when you're climbing, this thing is exactly what you want. It just stands up well, keeps moving. Oh yeah, it's quick when you want it to be. Very nice. It's gonna score a 10 out of 10 on climbing, because if you're nitpicking the climbing, well, then maybe all you do for a living is climb. We're at a bird's eye view of the Bay Area. Nice. So let's see, I came from way up there somewhere, and now we're here. Voila. Here we go. So I think this is the trail. All right. Oh, very quick and playful. Woo. Hello. Thank you, sir. Oh, you can just pick lines really well. '29er wheels just roll. All right. See how it handles some of this chunky stuff pretty well. It's carving really nicely.
You just step on the pedals and the thing is moving. Conserve a lot of energy. The lightweight frame. It's big wheels. Oh, this is perfect for this. Little jump. Nice. Got chunky there, a little bit. It's all still pretty mellow. All right, wow. It's plenty of travel to let it skim off of everything. Ooh, all right. Nice. Takes drops pretty well. Slow speed tech eye. Man, still gotta work through this. Gets bounced around a little bit. It'll be interesting to try the Ripmo after this. Nice. Mows over stuff pretty easily. Those big wheels. All right. Just enjoying the bike right now. Handled that well. Feeling my hands a little bit. For a few downhill thoughts. This bike's definitely fun and lively and crafty, but as soon as you get going into some of the chunkier stuff, you got to be pretty composed yourself and look through a lot, because the bike will move around just because it is so light. That's the first time I've ever felt a light bike being almost a negative, but just got to be a better rider. Maybe a 140 fork would soften some of the blows in the hands when you're really moving. Otherwise, I'd say it is a very balanced bike. Never once bottomed out. Maybe I did, but I didn't feel it. It just keeps you moving. Like after you're done with your downhill or your climbing, your habit is just kind of keep spinning.
What do you think, Jay?
First run, first time seeing the trails, it was like, okay, this is really interesting, really smooth, really easy, fun, crafty bike. And as soon as it started getting a little gnarlier, it was handling it well. I just kind of had to be a little more composed and look further down the trail. And
I may have.
That's pretty rad. That's a good.
Yeah, I hit a couple little jumps and little drops, and it didn't bottom out, or it didn't feel it bottom out. It's such a light bike, you're not working that hard anyway, so you can just put a couple pedal strokes down and be smoother. And that's pretty sweet.
We had two large Ripmos go out. We'll probably see them back pretty soon.
Okay.
If you want to take something else out in between, you know?
Okay. Although I kind of just want to do the Ripmo back to back with this.
I'm right there with you. I'd like to hear
Yeah.
your take on it.
So maybe I'll just do a little quick climb back up and back down.
Okay.
And maybe it'll be back. Okay, so I did say that I was going to do the Ripmo next, but somebody's out on a couple Ripmos. I'm going to have to take this SB130 out because that's kind of the next step, or at least what I would consider close to a Ripmo maybe. Let's give it a shot. Solid feeling platform. Pretty maneuverable. Definitely plenty of bike for the fire road, huh? Let's see this amazing infinity platform. What does it do? What is it even doing? I don't know. But it feels good. I don't feel much at all. I guess that's feeling good. Nice long front center for sure. Feels much more like my Rain immediately. So I feel more at home on this kind of a bike. Definitely a bit heavier though. Not heavier than the Rain, but okay, Yeti. It's my best Yeti call. Oh yeah, dude. That eats it like a Yeti. No pun intended. Just go right up the hardest thing. Wow. That's easy. It pedals well. Yeah, that thing pedals good. So just a little bit less active, I feel, than the Ripley. It's not quite moving over everything with the same sensitivity the Ripley has, obviously. This thing is more glued, more planted, and more tractory. It just kind of eats what's right in front of it and moves along it. Yeah, you don't feel it, the suspension moving really at all, which is interesting. You just know it's there. It's doing its job. Nice. It's easy to pick lines, and it stays very glued, like a downhill bike going down, even when it's going up. It's pretty sweet. I've never ridden this platform before. And it does really well. This is chunky. Feels a lot more similar to my Rain than I've ever would have thought. Huh. It's very odd. The long front reach and the slack head angle feel almost identical to my Rain, except it feels just a couple pounds lighter. And I don't feel the 29 wheels being too big to where I have to maneuver everything individually. Hello. Okay, here's the chunky bit. Yeah, it just stays very glued to the ground. Almost like I'm descending while I'm ascending. Oh, it's pedal stroke. It's tight. Large feels just about perfect on this SB130. It's a good test. This thing climbs well. I'll give it a 9 because I don't know what 10 is. So 10-second bike check of this SB130. Fox suspension, factory suspension I should note. SRAM drivetrain, did not miss that. We got Fox transfer post, Yeti's carbon bars, race face stem, ergon grips, guide RSC brakes. You definitely need to throw some codes on this thing. This thing is not a guide RSC bike. Okay, sure, yeah. Alrighty. Downhill. The SB130. Okay, it's very active. I could probably tune the suspension better, but it's very active. All right, very precise, a little overly active. I think you just push it. All right, and thank you. I can help you out. Won't hit you. I'll hold this for these guys. Oh yeah, if you just want to stomp over stuff, this thing keeps its momentum well. Much more of a capable descender. Oh yeah, got offline. All right, let's keep her going. Okay. Handles the chunk well. It's probably most bike that most people would ever really need. Or more bike. Definitely racy. Definitely very racy. Stays very balanced. Just pedaling this Yeti on flat ground, it does amazing. It doesn't move underneath you. Or if it does, it doesn't let you know it's moving. All right, thanks again. All right, this is what we came for. The Ripmo versus the Ripley. It's definitely a bigger bike. Feels a little lighter than the 130 though. Perfect reach. Seat angle's perfect. This is the most at home I've felt on a bike yet. Here we go. Oh yeah. Woohoo! A little more playful than the 130 maybe. Oh, just super smooth. Oh wow. Definitely playful side to side. Nice. This thing handled the fire road test. Now let's climb this thing. I just feel a little bit more alive on this bike. Not quite as planted or grounded, I should say, as that 130. As far as plotting along here, this feels way closer to the Ripley, so I definitely like the way that Ripley felt. Very similar to this. So if you're the kind of guy that wants to have, I don't know, yeah, this thing pedals great. Like if the Ripley was a benchmark 10 today, this would be a 9, maybe a 9.4. So I'm actually kind of happy I did demo that SB130 right after the Ripley, because that SB130 gave me that bigger bike feel that I was definitely looking for out of today. Without feeling too big. But honestly, this just makes the 130 feel like more of a tank. All right, let's see how the Ripmo handles this chunk. Oh yeah, you can just stand up and keep moving. It's not holding you back. So climbing, as far as the Ripmo goes so far in this chunky technical terrain, is almost on par with the Ripley. Just a little more weight and a little more forgiving, to be honest, when it comes down to bigger hits, successive hits. And for that, it might feel a little more plush, slightly slower, but that's okay. If this thing is slow, then I am flying, because my rein is a different level slow. We'll give it a 9, since the Ripley's a 10. And just because it's slightly lighter than the SB130, a little more crafty to handle, not so racy, I'd say the SB130 is an 8.5 on this little tiny 3-bike climbing scale. So don't lose your kilt over anything I might say. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. Just trying to ride these bikes. Tell you what I feel. Because apparently, I'm not far off. Not far off.
What?
Not far off
Yeah.
of that guy. Yeah, it's definitely techie. It's a good test for these bikes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say they're really close as far as climbing. That one's just lighter.
Yeah, this one's really light. I mean, this one's like 26.5, which is really light for a bike this
It is.
level.
Yeah, so for how light that is,
Most of the other bikes around this are like 30.
yeah, I'd say that's definitely a 10 out of 10 for climbing.
Yeah, I think this and I rode both the Yetis. They're very similar. I actually like the action of the Yetis a little better.
Yeah, it feels more like you're glued to the ground.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of planted going uphill.
There's a few little sections that I just really.
If you use that little magic link, it definitely gets through some stuff.
Yeah.
But these things are great climbers.
Yeah. All right, downhill and see what it's like.
Yeah, have some fun. See you back there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we made it all the way up to the top here again. This time we're going to descend on the Ripmo, the large Ripmo. And it feels much more like my style of a bike, obviously, since I'm coming from a rain. A little lighter, obviously, so it's going to be pretty fun. Let's see how it goes. Yoo. Oh yeah, it's definitely a plush bike. Little jump, woo! Super plush. Man, just so composed. All right. A little faster on the slow speed chunk because it's got more momentum. Hello. Thank you. All right, here we go. Really nice. It's just a really rough trail. Howdy. Nice. Good fun bike. Oh yeah. Right over the biggest rock. Yeah, this bike's a dream. Just launches into anything. Comes out perfectly fun. Woo! Nice. Awesome. Right in the middle of the other two. Maybe just slightly more plush feeling than the 130. But definitely lighter feeling. So happy I tried all three. Those three are my top contenders for sure. The Ripley's just probably more of a second bike for me than a one bike. Otherwise, man, what a good time to be you said it, a golfer. Just kidding, mountain biker. More technology right now. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll conclude with some thoughts. See you later. Well, final 20 seconds, I'd say this thing is not far off from the Ripley at all.
Cool.
Honestly, this is exactly what I'm looking for, because it's right between that 130 and that Ripley, where this is a little lighter than the 130 and a little more live, but it's got just that extra for that chunky stuff. So
Cool.
So what's your name again?
Kyle.
Kyle, dude, thanks for bringing me along.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened without you.
Did you ever flip that thing upside down? I feel like it works better that way. Oh, you have the...
I have a little extender so I can tilt it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would just use the short one and flip it upside down, and then you can like...
Oh yeah, if you
push
flip it
as
over,
hard
then
as
you can...
Yeah. And then when I'm right here, that's about right. So, yeah. I keep it a little higher just because, I don't know. It seems to catch everything still. It's better than my gimbal because I did the whole
There's nothing worse than watching a video where you're constantly
looking at the ground. You're trying to look up for the camera.
Yes. Right?
You think it's gonna work, but the screen doesn't go
I
up.
find myself just like, stop! God damn! Today was the easy day.
Literally, yeah.
So nice, just rolling in, easy setup,
Easy bikes.
easy bikes. Yeah, tomorrow might be different. Tomorrow might be different.
Catch a tiger by his tooth. Bunch of e-bikers. So in conclusion, this is the best climbing bike of the day. It's not very light, but it's a lot of fun. Nice little lines. You. Oh yeah. Hello, thank you. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I'm just balling up.
Ooh. You gotta work for this stuff. E-bike or no e-bike? Thank you, man. Woohoo! Yeah, buddy.